Christy Noem, the cosplay queen and puppy shooter, the butt-kissing Trumper governor, forced to sway to the music on the campaign trail, is now head of Homeland Security. And she just went on CNN this morning and launched Step 4 of the fascist takeover of America. Step 1 was to nominate an absolute clown show of a cabinet and force Senate Republicans to become subservient to Trump. Step 2 was to sign a slurry of executive orders that were stupid, highly disruptive, and downright illegal. Step 3, begin the process of radically disposing of the federal government through unelected and unofficial agents like Elon Musk. And the second to the last step, Step 4, was just implemented by Noem. Start laying the groundwork for ignoring judicial injunctions and rulings. And typical of Republican tactics, Noem didn't give a speech. She didn't even make an argument. Instead, she just spouted off a meme, like DEI, price of eggs, or trans athletes. And the reason she spouted off a meme rather than make an argument is because arguments can be proven false, whereas memes compact pseudo-arguments that hide in the dark and work really well on low IQ voters like this.
Voter Amanda Marone backed Trump because of his stance on Israel. She likes what she's seen.
I think he kind of came in strong, and he's just taking care of everything that kind of happened over the last few years.
Taking care of everything that happened over the last few years? What the heck is this moron talking about? Record high job growth? Or its cousin, record low unemployment? Is she talking about the largest growth in manufacturing jobs in decades? Or is she talking about ending a pandemic and fighting off a worldwide inflation better than any country in the world, and an inflation that was fueled by Putin's war against the Ukraine anyways? Is that what Trump is taking care of? Because yes, Amanda, Trump is definitely taking care of that. The cost of fuel and eggs is up dramatically since Trump took charge. Oh, and Amanda, we know you personally are too stupid to invest in the stock market, but it is tumbling thanks to Trump's enormously idiotic threats of trade wars with our closest allies and trading partners. So, yay for bold leadership. But it is precisely low information and low IQ voters like this that are crucial for a fascist takeover. They are going to comprise a good 30 to 35% of approval that Republican politicians will then use to go along with what Trump and his billionaire cronies are up to, installing fascism. So launching the meme by a low-level, lesser-known cabinet member, who's also low IQ, is the only reason Noem was put on the Sunday shows, and she went up against Dana Bash, who has about as much ability to confront Republican bull feces as she has coaching NFL wide receivers. I'm going to play Noem's interview with Bash and see if you can identify when she awkwardly slips in the meme.
I remember a time when Republicans were very careful about and worried about the government, particularly unelected people.
Well, we can't trust the government anymore.
Having access to personal data.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You are the government.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, is that the American people now are saying that we have had our personal information shared and out there in the public.
Now Elon Musk has access to it.
Yeah, but Elon Musk is part of the administration that is helping us identify where we can find savings and what we can do, and he has gone through the processes to make sure that he has the authority.
So you're totally
the president has
comfortable
granted
with it.
him. I am today by the work that he's doing by identifying waste, fraud, and abuse. And his information that he has is looking at programs, not focusing on personal data and information.
Not focusing on it, but he has access to it.
We'll be continuing to talk to him about what all he has access to. But this audit needs to happen to make sure that we are going through a process that adds integrity back into these programs.
Did you catch it? Because Dana Bash sure didn't. She spoke right over it. She let it slide right by. So here it is again.
The government, particularly unelected people.
Well, we can't trust the government anymore.
And yes, this is exactly what people like Amanda Moron will go around repeating. We can't trust the government anymore. Newsflash, Christy, you are the government. Bash should have nailed her right there, but didn't. You are the government, puppy slayer, and you were the government before you got to DC. What did you think being governor meant? So the government can't trust the government, so the government is going to start getting rid of the government. How does that make sense to anyone? And this is the dangerous part. It doesn't have to make sense. It just has to serve as an excuse to ignore judicial injunctions and rulings. And that is exactly what Republicans are doing. Because just as Christie Puppy Killer was clumsily delivering her meme, J.D. Vance was posting this on social media. If a judge tried to tell a general how to conduct a military operation, that would be illegal. If a judge tried to command the attorney general in how to use her discretion as a prosecutor, that's also illegal. Judges aren't allowed to control the executive's legitimate power. And yep, there's our Yale Law School grad setting up a series of analogies, which basic logic tells us is the weakest form of reasoning, so he can come to a nonsense and misrepresented conclusion. Because judges are not trying to control the executive's legitimate power, they are doing just the opposite, stopping the executive from breaking the law. Can't help but wonder just how proud Yale Law School is these days. And it's not like this is a coincidence. Here's a Republican member of the legislative branch basically pitching in to say the same thing, to lay the groundwork for defying the judiciary. Mike Lee posted, "This has the feel of a coup. Not a military coup, but a judicial one." To which Elon Musk replied, "Yes." So make no mistake about it. We are now on the edge of a cliff with our democracy. We are mere days away from Republicans ignoring judicial injunctions and rulings. And once they do, we are officially a fascist country. And with people like Dana Bash working as the voice of the media, don't count on the media to be able to do anything about it. Likewise, with Democratic politicians such as Chuck Schumer leading the opposition, we can't count on congressional Democrats to stop it either. I mean, we're talking about a group of people who let private security guards stop them. Are you kidding? Isn't there anyone in this party who knows how to play chess? We've known Project 2025 was the plan since the campaign, and people like Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries did not have an opposition plan in place for day one. We need plans, we need tactics, we need leadership, and we need action. So here's two things you can do immediately. First, stop using Amazon. If you need books, go to abebooks.com. If you need stuff, go to Costco.com. And for Pete's sake, cancel Amazon Prime. Second, if you own a Tesla, go to cars.com right now and list it for sale. Even if you don't sell it, help create a wave of crashing demand for Tesla. Glut the market. Feel free to offer other citizen actions in the comment sections below. But the most powerful roadblock that can be thrown up depends on Gavin Newsom, J.B. Pritzker, Gretchen Whitmer, and Maura Healey. They need to quickly form a states compact to replace Social Security and provide the same level of support with a state system. Not only could these economies afford to do it, but it would remove all their state citizens from Social Security and take people out of the hands of demented Donnie and Elon Musk. And one other thing you can do, whether you are a New Yorker or not, call Chuck Schumer's office and ask him to step aside, not only as Senate Minority Leader, but as Senator of New York. And feel free to do the same to Ed Markey and a lot of other old-timers who are standing in the way of the next generation of Democratic leaders like AOC and Ayanna Pressley. Because we need action and we need leadership and we need it now. I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats.